And we're live. This is the NFT show, episode unknown. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing y00ts, Instagram news, and other stuff. Pio is not on the show today because he is in Lisbon. Flew there from London today. We're going to be discussing also Twitter layoffs. We're going to be discussing this Valhalla project that Kix is talking about, allow list access for. We're going to be discussing what beverage is in Kix's glass is another subject matter that we'll be discussing. Maybe we actually start with that. What's in the glass?
Just a little Gatorade Zero, dude. Get a little electrolytes in my life. A little dehydrated, trying to restore that balance in the body, allow the synapses in my brain just to connect at a higher speed. Really full throttle, bull market vibes in the brain, bear market in reality, but like in the brain, straight bull market. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, the bulls are pumping. You got big bulls, as they say, thanks to Gatorade. The glass, I think, was what made me think it was different. I think that's what went on there.
Just slamming vodka, just like just a vodka.
Like, what's going on?
I turned into a raging alcoholic. I haven't told anyone yet, but I'm just drinking 8 hours a day.
Do you own a y00ts or a tube?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's actually dive into that real quick. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna pull it up. Which is, so you haven't minted, have you?
No, I haven't even accessed that computer in a hot minute. So let's see it on your end.
So here's what we're looking at actually right now. There's a massive gap between the two. Right now, the floor on y00ts is 73.5.
Okay.
And the floor on tubes is 99.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a big spread. I mean, that's what, like 30%?
Nearly 30 SOL that we're on there, which is, what's the price of SOL right now?
It's $33.
Well,
that was like the interesting thing I was like thinking about when like I was looking at the prices of these and all of that, because like I was thinking like, I actually like really dig the art. I think it's pretty cool and pretty unique. And I was like, I definitely want to maybe like scoop up a floor one. But I want to be patient, because what I was thinking about is like, the floor on these is like, 73 SOL. So that's like, 73 times 33, 2,400. So divide that by like 1,650. It's coming out of the gate at 1.5 Ethereum. I don't think that's what, like, whenever I look at SOL prices, you know what I mean? I don't think about what the Ethereum price is right away. When you think about that, like coming out on reveal at 1.5 ETH, and I mean, the tubes were at like 110. So the tubes were closer to like 2 ETH. Like, it's very, very hard for any project to come out of the gate with a reveal and like not go down a little bit in price. Like, just in a bear market, 1.5 ETH is like pretty expensive.
Dude, the floor is covered with these motorcycle helmets. People don't like that, huh?
I'm a big mullet guy, like that guy on the left right there that you just scrolled by. Yeah, I'm a big mullet guy, dude. I just love the mullet, man. It's just
I can see this being you. You could,
right?
You could potentially, this could be you.
100%. Like you could see that guy at a conference and you'd be like, Nick, is that you?
This is more of my hair. This is more directionally in my path. But I don't know,
hair, as I like to call it, cute boy hair.
Cute. Yeah, that's what my mom always called it as well. Cute boy hair.
Yeah, you got cute boy hair for sure.
Dude, thank you. I've been trying to figure out what whether or not I mint. I've been, and right now the spread it's basically a 30 SOL lotto. Like, do you like gambling, or are you just going to hold the tube like perpetually?
I think the tube, that's why I want to buy one off the floor to like actually like rock as a PFP, because I'd like rather just hold on to the tube for like a longer period of time. Because then I think that like if you look at the mutant vials, if you look at the Clone X vials, right, they definitely hold a premium. And then if I want to gamble with it, I can gamble with it, at any time. It's kind of like QQL, right? Like, I'm not in a rush to mint my QQL, right? Because it's like, there's no like upside for me to rush into it. But I think the art reveal stuff is pretty cool. And then like, let me see. let's see. I want to see if I can see like the highest sales with their analytics. Because I'm curious about that. Okay, yeah, cool. So let me do the 1 day. Yeah, so like the tricky thing, right, is that the tubes are at like pretty much 100 SOL, right? There has not been that many sales above like 140, 150 SOL, right? There's just not that many. And I think the collection is intentionally designed that way. Like Frank and people talked about, like they wanted just a lot of like common traits that like look great. There's like a couple 1 out of 1s and that's it. So like this one feels a little different where it actually, I think, makes more sense to probably like sell the tube and then buy a ute you like.
Well, unless, I see what you're saying, like, because even the premium aren't that premium. I also think people aren't selling their one of ones. My guess is that would be like a significant premium of like, I don't know, maybe 350 SOL or something like that plus. One question or one thing that somebody says though, can't wait, says bearish on projects that all have the same neutral background. And I didn't even notice that. I wasn't paying attention to it. Although people are really passionate about their background. That's like a major subject of conversation.
I like clean backgrounds. I think noisy backgrounds make them worse as profile pics. And with these backgrounds, you can literally just, crop it out and put your own background if you want a different color background.
I think I'm on the same page. That said, you can always I'm guessing the way that we end up delivering it, we want to deliver assets that you can also, with our PFP, there's like the dream situation and then reality. But in a dream scenario, we would give you those assets so you can do whatever you want with it, so that you can have like customization, like a vector version of the file. That would be ideal.
Yeah, I like that.
But it ain't easy to pull that off, actually. I was having one agency was like, why wouldn't they design this in Figma? And I'm like, what illustrator designs in Figma? Like, I've never. Yeah, now initially I was like, yeah, let's go with this agency. And now I'm just like, oh, that's dumb.
Yeah, design it in Figma. Get the hell out of my office.
Get out.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, just leave.
Never come back.
Not interested.
And I'm not paying her consultation fee either.
Yeah. You want the money? Sue me.
Sue me, dude.
Yeah, sue me.
My lawyers.
Let me know how much that costs. I'll pay more money on my lawyers than paying you for that dumb advice.
But yeah, man, I think this is, the reveal is going like as expected. I think it's, it's cool. Yeah, see, that's cool right there. It's cool. It's cool art. I like the styles. I think these make great profile pics. I think that there's a potential that they can maybe look a little too similar to other ones, but I don't know. I think there's like a lot of variations, like in the glasses and stuff like that, that can, like that one at 120 that you said, like with the mullet and the cool glasses, like that's dope. Like if you put that in as a profile pic, that'll like stand out for sure. But I think that part of the, price action is also that, like, I think some people assumed they were like, that this was the old art style and there was going to be like a new art style that was going to somehow be even better, when in reality it looks like they just like got rid of some shitty traits and like improved some traits. So I think they did a lot of work with like the glasses, making some cool glasses traits. There's a lot of glasses in this collection for sure.
Yeah, I wonder so I was on a call before this and we were looking at some of the one of one items associated with this, and they were pretty dope. Regardless, my thought was, well, this is going to give a bull market to Solana. Where do you find the data for cross-market volume nowadays? I don't even have I'm still using OpenSea Analytics, but that's not like a good indicator anymore.
I like dapradar.com. I don't know if it's like perfectly accurate, but it's just easy to look at. So I just go to dapradar, then I look at marketplaces. So it shows, but I don't know if this has blur. Yeah, this doesn't have any of the aggregator volume on it, but that's fine. So it's got OpenSea at
Magic Eden. Look at this.
10 million. Yeah, Magic Eden at 6.27. So there's definitely a lot of volume coming in due to the Utes.
So they're number one. Actually, no. Why does this say number one? What is this ranked on? Because it shows volume at 5 million, OpenSea at 6.88. Is this based on UAW, unique active wallets? Interesting.
Yeah, so by volume instead, I guess. If you want.
I mean, it seems like basically there's nothing else.
Honey plays an ad, I guess. That's what that is.
So nothing else is relevant.
Look at Blur there, 5.46 million.
Blur, there you go. But 2.85K wallets versus 26,000 on Magic Eating and 21,000 on OpenSea. I mean, this is actually pretty good data. Well, exciting. That's the general thought here was this would Utes would lead to a bull market sort of thing, or at least more activity. Hopefully, be a catalyst for something bigger, which is what you're always hoping for in the NFT space. And right now, that may not be the case, but that's what we've seen. The other, was there anything else you wanted to discuss about Utes, Nick?
No, I think we covered it. I think it, props to the team for getting the reveal out. I'm going to be patient on picking one up off the floor, because I'm not sure what would like really cause these to pump. I'd rather wait for them to like settle into like a price that they're going to sit at, and then I'll go shopping.
I mean, you could probably look for some of the more rare traits that are here.
That's the weird thing. Look at the like two out of that's just like the listed out of. Maybe not. So wait, is there only 872 revealed?
So how do you? Oh yeah, out of 872,
like 28, or it says 2 out of 872.
That's a pretty low number. Gold Crown Witters in our Discord got one of these for 160 ETH right now. One of the so she just sorry, not ETH, 160 Sol. My apologies. I spoke
160. That's some real bull market vibes right there.
Dude, if it was 160 ETH, that would be sick.
Insane.
This Shoe Guzzler is also rare. Actually, this is more rare than the Crown. Look at this. This is also spiky hair is more rare than the Shoey.
But if only 10% is revealed, there could be some variance in the in the data.
I mean, if we're at that number, there's no incentive to mint it right now. It's actually that your expected value is negative on this. So wait until there's better data. The McVisor. Interestingly enough, the Crown is one of the most popular. I'm scrolling through here. It has the highest number of all of the head pieces. Next to helmets. Helmets is the other highest, second high, or number one. So not really.
They're a little tougher because they like really detract from the whole face, where like the crown just sits on top.
Well, this is I don't even like these two one-of-ones. I saw another one that was shared, and it's now completely lost because I was viewing it on another computer. But there was like an old painting style, like kind of similar to the one that I have on my wall back here. An old painting style. I'm blanking on the name of that genre, but yes. So someone said, are these dynamic NFTs? The answer for that is no. Let's dive into the other top story, which I'm curious to talk with you about. And actually, maybe the most relevant thing to bring up here would be Matic as a result of all of this, which is the Instagram news. I had I don't know if I'd call it a viral video, but it was one of my more popular videos that I've done on Twitter, where I was talking about this yesterday. And I'm curious what your thoughts are on the Instagram shift to the Instagram shift into the NFT space, and also the I clicked on Mana. My bad. There you go. I fixed the problem. What your thoughts are here on the sort of Matic price action as a result of this?
Yeah, I mean, it's broken above like the previous high, which was like in the bear market, which is like 1.03. So it's definitely moving up in like price discovery mode. I think last week on the morning show, I was talking about that I've started acquiring like long-term hold tokens. So I've been buying Ethereum. I've been buying Matic. I've also been buying some Chainlink. So like I've been adding to my Matic bags, but it's always hard for me to like buy off of a candle, that big, like it, because it's like, where where is it going to go? Is it going to go to 150? It can definitely go to 150. I'm not like fudding it, but that puts the market cap then.
That's the trajectory right now.
Yeah, that puts the market cap at like $15 billion, $16 billion. Should become a top 10 coin. It would be ahead of Solana. It'd be just ahead of Cardano. It'd be slightly below Dogecoin. But like I'm going to continue to dollar cost average, and just like buy chunks of this at like 70 cents. When I first started buying it, I thought it made a lot of sense because it was just weird to me that like Polygon was valued at like $5 billion and like, Solana was valued at double it. But like it seemed like, Polygon was doing a lot. I just felt like it was kind of undervalued. I think that people, just because it's like a sort of an L2, but not actually an L2, right? Like Polygon had a lot of FUD, like not FUD, but like a lot of like people that just, they didn't like Polygon. They like weren't fans of Polygon. Actually, when we were building on Polygon, like last year in like November or December, when Solana was going on an absolute ripper, when Avalanche was going on an absolute ripper, we got like a lot of pressure, people being like, hey, are you going to move chains? Yada, yada, yada. But I've always just really liked Polygon. And so it's awesome to see that it's like finally getting, some love. But I mean, they just have a crazy amount of like big integrations. JP Morgan Chase, Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, right? And then just projects like, for example, Midnight Society. So like Dr. Disrespect is like building his first person shooter on Polygon. So I think that like Polygon's going to continue to do quite well.
I agree. I have minor exposure to Matic. I don't think I own a negligible amount, like borderline not even worth mentioning. But I wish I owned more. Dude, this Solana chart is kind of hilarious. Like, what? Look at that. I mean, that collapse is insane. That's basically what, 90% decrease. I don't think ETH has gone through that big of a drop. I mean, it's gone down. Don't get me wrong. We were at 48.77. We're now down at 1,600. But what is that?
The issue is that Solana got like valued up to like an insane level. Like, what was its market cap at the peak? Yeah.
Well, it'd be basically 8 times whatever we're at right now.
Yeah, like the market cap at peak was like $80 billion. And then like to just compare like Matic, let's see what like Matic was at its peak. Matic at its peak, or Polygon rather, was at $20 billion at its peak. So like that's why I think that like Polygon has that a little bit more of that room to run. You know what I mean? Because like they weren't, everything was overvalued in the bull, but like, it coming down to earth made it like there's more upside than like, so now they're basically valued the same, both of those companies.
Which to me feels about right. Like, I think, Solana has a lot more hype as it applies to their platform. Matic is doing a way better job with partnerships. That said, Solana was one of the blockchains supported by Instagram, which to me is like, wow. Like
that's interesting. They didn't get much of a news benefit from that. Like Polygon got a ton of a news benefit from it. Solana really didn't, which is kind of interesting when you think about it. Solana also had a massive, NFT market and still does. And I think that probably helped like influence the price getting to where it was. Obviously I have an NFT game on Polygon, but like Polygon just has never been at the levels of like Solana or much less Ethereum in terms of like NFT volume. But I think now when you see like the trend of where Polygon is going, it's very strong because you have like, okay, now all of Reddit volume is on Polygon, right? That's going to be embedded in there. You start to get Facebook and Instagram volume. I mean, that could be pretty significant as well.
Yeah. And if you want an off ramp for it, One thing that I'll be curious to see is like people know Ethereum, people know Bitcoin. Usually they don't want to like hold on. They would hold on, like you would consider holding on to your ETH like in your wallet. Not all of it. I mean, if you crushed it last year with NFTs, that's the exception where you're like, I'm gonna get some of that cold hard cash.
Yeah.
But people will like hold on. I have Bitcoin that I think I'm at one or like at a minimum it's 0.9. So I think I have at least 0.9 Bitcoin. And that I'll just hold on to, and I feel comfortable with that. I wonder about people that are onboarding, whether or not they want to use Matic.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, that's the interesting thing is like, like can Matic be successful as a technology, but people still prefer ETH over holding actual Matic? Matic is the gas fee on Polygon. But you can still hold ETH on Polygon. You know what I mean? You can still have liquidity pools in ETH on Polygon. In fact, I think that maybe the ETH liquidity pools on Polygon are higher than the Matic. Don't quote me on that, but I think that is potentially the case. The interesting thing about Polygon, though, is it's like, it's pseudo attached to Ethereum, right? So like when you're betting on Solana, you're betting like on like a different chain. When you're betting on Matic, you're betting on Matic like succeeding on top of Ethereum. You know what I mean? So you're not like betting against Ethereum when you're betting on Matic. Similar to like you're not betting against Ethereum if you're betting on Arbitrum or Optimism, like other layer twos. You're actually betting like making a higher risk bet on Ethereum, right? You're betting on Ethereum succeeding so well that layer twos become necessary for like the mass adoption, in terms of transactions.
Yeah, I completely agree. It'll be interesting to see how this pans out, what the onboarding experience is like. Someone says that my ETH chart is mental illness. Hey, thank you for putting me in that bucket.
Just wait until it breaks. So once it breaks through these 100 levels, then there's only 2 above them. So then it's just like straight air, dude.
Yeah, it's just straight up after that point. So this is just like levels of resistance. Yeah. In all honesty,
it's like a tough mutter. This is like getting through a tough mutter, and then
I realized where the levels had come from, and they came from the hourly chart, and they're basically still perfect to this day. Look at this, like we're having quite a run today, by the way. But look at these levels that I have sitting here from like weeks ago. It's basically following. There's some exceptions. Don't get me wrong, where it goes below for a period of time, but like it's trying to support those levels that are there. So if you're trading the hourly, my levels are on point. A few days
sells them in a premium subscription.
Yeah, exactly. Like check this out. Broke directly above. Had you bought in at this level, kadoosh, like up to the next level, just straight up to the next level. Then
what's wild to me, just talking about Ethereum in general, is how it's like really breaking away from tech in terms of like the correlation. Because I mean, today tech, over the last 5 days, tech has been getting slaughtered. Absolutely slaughtered. There's no other way to put it. I think Apple's down like 15 or 13% in 5 trading sessions. Twilio today, like down 30%, like layoffs left and right happening. And ETH is acting like it just doesn't matter.
It's pretty insane. ETH has been incredibly strong, and I agree with that assessment. It's crazy. NASDAQ is getting absolutely freaking just demolished, although it's actually back up today. What the hell? This is bipolar with this activity. But in general, I mean, this chart is pretty nuts. I mean, where are we going down to? Like, I don't know where the
2020 levels. I mean, it's crazy. Some of the growth tech companies, like think about this, like Twilio, right? So Twilio, I think maybe I own a couple $1,000s worth, but not much at all. But Twilio is down, I don't know, like 87%. Twilio is down 87% from a year ago. It IPO'd in 2016. Oh my
God, look at today.
Yeah, it's down 33% today.
What the hell? Sorry, this is the weekly chart, by the way. My apologies, but I'm assuming today is the driver of that.
Yeah. So look back to where it was last at this price.
Oh, like, dude, you know what it is? I actually just this, and I'm pissed I didn't make the trade now. I'm pissed I didn't make the trade. I was chatting with someone the other day. There's new restrictions on SMS-based marketing, and like you need like new layers of compliance, which means that it's going to be incredibly impossible for Twilio to operate the way that they have been. And basically, all of the SMS spam that you're getting right now is a lot of it's powered by Twilio. They have very aggressive anti-spam measures in place, to be clear. So I don't want to like destroy the name of their brand. The one thing that they do own is SendGrid. So at least you got that, which is email marketing. But like, wow, they're almost back to like
IPO levels.
Yeah, what the hell? 23. This was like a darling of the. It hit $458.
Yeah, it's down 90%. It's down
over 90%.
Over 90% from the highs. Now, I don't know about like what you said about like the SMS restrictions. That could definitely have something to do with it. But like, just think about their market cap is $7.63 billion. They're generating about just shy of $4 billion a year in revenue. So you're able to buy a company that's growing 30 or 40% a year for 2 times its revenue. Like, you got to think that like Twilio, if you were Google, like you could just acquire this company and just improve your top line like so easily. You know what I mean? At these prices.
I'm wondering what the thing that I've been now tracking is the book value, price to book ratio. So they're now trading at 1.1, which is absolutely ridiculous. They also have $4.4 billion in cash with a market cap of 7.63. So you could literally just buy them and liquidate their cash and shut down the whole thing, and you'd almost come close to where this. I like where your head's at. I guess what happened was, let's see, on light guidance.
Yeah. So their light guidance is that in Q4, instead of making like 1.06 billion, they're going to make like 1.02 billion. Some people have been like hypothesizing that there's like some tech hedge funds that are just completely blowing up and getting margin called and stuff like that. And that's why some of the
this looks bonkers. I almost want to just go pick up a bunch right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Like, just at certain points, you're just like, dude, this is like insane.
Dude, what? Trading at book value on the business. Value.
Yeah.
On a SaaS product.
Growing 40% a year.
I'm literally about to buy a Twilio right now. Like this just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I don't want to hesitate on this purchase.
What if you go to buy and it just goes up to like 80? Like
our show is changing.
There's a hedge fund just listening in.
Yeah, the market. Let's see if maybe I already own some. Let's see if I own any. Are you still here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It went away for a second. So I have. Let's see if I have any cash in any of these different accounts. Yes, I have in one of them, I have a few $1,000s. These are retirement accounts that I'm just using. I'm just going to buy right now a few $1,000s of Twilio. Like this just makes sense.
What's even crazier is it says the price to book ratio was 1.10 when the stock was at 65, and now it's at 41. I guess maybe there was adjustments to that, but yeah, it's getting wild out there. So, to bring it back to like, crypto and NFTs, it's very, very interesting to see crypto doing so well comparative to the rest of tech. I've also wondered how much crypto is benefiting from, the rate hikes, because it's affecting a lot of currencies. And I think it's like creating that narrative that everyone talked about, where it actually kind of can be an inflation hedge, where people are like, okay, I'd rather have my money in Ethereum than the British pound, or like, the Canadian dollar, like,
yes,
much less another type of currency. Right. So we may be seeing us finally like starting to like benefit from that narrative, which will be like very bullish for, crypto and eventually NFTs too.
I just bought Twilio, only like $3,000 on that account. I have way more cash in another one, but I'm going to Like this is
It's a
getting
lot better than my Twitter idea that I gave you last year.
that one. I knew was a risky one. I'm gonna be honest. Like anyone who ever comes to you with an options trade that they have conviction in, I'm always just like, like you're a gambler too. Let's
Yeah.
let's
10x or rags or riches. I think I told you, I'm like, this is either a 10x or a 0. Sure enough, it ended up being a straight 0.
That's options, and you have basically a 99% chance that it's worth 0. But I was down to play the game. I liked it. It was a good call. Well, it wasn't, but actually, it was a bad call. Maybe we can discuss real quick as the last subject matter here is the Twitter, and I'm gonna pull up a specific page for this, but I'm feeling real good about that Twilio buy. Good call on that, man. I'm pretty excited about that. I said I wouldn't buy Meta either, but like it's some level. Part of me is just like, I have to buy this thing. Like I cannot not invest in this. This doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, if it keeps going down like to such a bad level, like we're so fucked anyways. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like if Facebook's going down 50% from here, you have to understand what kind of environment makes that possible. Like we're screwed anyways.
So the biggest story right now, there's been layoffs across the board in the tech space, which historically is good for stocks, but I guess it's not working right now. Everyone, maybe we still get that like a serious, like a Black Friday style collapse at some point, because I'm still expecting another 25% down or something like that would be.
I think we're going to have one of those days where it's going to be absolute blood on the streets. I think like some sort of hedge fund will get blown up. You'll just see stocks dropping left and right. But yeah, I mean, you pulled up Twitter, they're firing 50% of their staff, but it's across the board all this week too. The amount of announcements just this week, layoffs, like Stripe laying off 14% of their employees. There's a huge list.
All offices are closed. I mean, they've gotten rid of 50% of the company. How? Like it's pretty incredible to see what's going on here, and we haven't seen anything like that. What a disaster! Like for the business. Now maybe it's like long term, but talk about. I mean, this is the first thing when you think of a private equity deal. This is the first thing you're looking at is basically can we get to profitability instantaneously? Like that's what he's doing. And we were discussing this the other day. I want to pull up some of the tweets. This is why I pulled up this page in particular. Tech Meme, one of my favorite tech news sites to go to, because they aggregate some of these tweets so you can see this person's like, looks like I'm unemployed. There's some in here that's like, wow, I'm 8 months pregnant and just got laid off. So that's exciting. The days of great tech jobs just basically imploded. Like the babying of tech employees is mostly gone, and I think reserved for for the upper echelon of the talent within the organization, pretty much at this point in time.
Yeah, I mean, I think tech just got a little bloated in general, and you read stories of people that are like working 3 tech jobs and like clearing $700,000 a year in salary just because like people were over hiring so much. No one noticed that they like weren't working. Like there was definitely some signs on the wall, but I mean, this should create a great startup environment though, right? Like you have a lot of talent now kind of coming back on the market. You would think that this is like probably net good for like startups, new companies, like a new Web3 startup, like those kinds of things could do pretty well. But I mean, yeah, so you said Twitter's lost 50%. Stripe has cut 14%. Lyft is laying off 13%. Like, and there's like 8 other tech companies that are laying off more than 10% of their workforce just this week. It's like they all got an email from like A16Z or like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like they all got an email from like some sort of like investor or LP or something that's like, it's about to get ugly out there. Front run the, Q1 of next year and start, cleaning up the P&L.
the Sequoia, I forget the presentation that happened during the financial crisis, but they sent it after the crisis had begun, and everyone's like, these guys are visionaries, which I thought was interesting. I mean, they are an iconic fund, but they went through this process of essentially saying you should probably like really, really look closely at your expenditure and figure out what to do. It actually makes me a little bit concerned about how we're personally like approaching our expenditure over the next 2 months. We upped it only because we have profit, and so we don't want to get smashed with taxes. So we've been hosting events that we just fund. It doesn't cost that much. It's like $10K, but our like tax bill is going to be maybe $500,000 plus, and so we're like,
buy some new computers,
money
a little bit.
Yeah. So we have some interesting ideas as well. We have a rebrand happening. We have we went way under budget. Well, we're not done with the PFP, but we're pacing way under budget on the PFP, which means even with a rebrand, even with all this other stuff. So that's our reason for it, but it feels a little bit uncomfortable taking that action as all this stuff is going on, because
I totally feel the same way at Crypto Raiders. We're looking at the same thing. So we have a very healthy like burn rate timeline. Like we have years, so we can survive like a really bad recession or some bad things happening to crypto. But I also think this is the best time to like hire great talent and also like ensure that the talent on your team remains high. So like, we've made some cuts and then used those cuts to hire more people. And I can tell you that like, we've been trying to hire Unity engineers for like the last year, and like the talent cropping up this latest round is much better than it was 6 months ago, much better than it was a year ago. So I think this is now the time where you can really build like those A teams, cream of the crop, right? Get some, when it's hard to hire when like you have all these other startups and they're like offering these crazy packages and these crazy base salaries and stuff like that. And people don't really have that fire. You know what I mean? They're like,
yes.
I feel like in a recession, it's like, okay, I want to work for this company for the next 3 years and like try to work with them to succeed. So like, we're definitely trying to take advantage of it. But yeah, I mean, you got to, I think that probably on the NFT side, we're going to see some projects blow up over the next 6 months. Would be my guess.
There's a lot of complaints here about some of the groups that were gotten rid of, including one that was focused on research. I don't know if 50% is a pretty insane, and as this person,
1 out of 2, man, you got to literally think like 1 out of 2, dude. That's worse than the Black Plague. I'm pretty sure the Black Plague killed like 20% of people, right? So that's like 2 out of 10. Like this is 1 out of 2. So like, if you had 10 friends in the Twitter office, you now have 5 friends, like just mathematically. Like,
I mean, it's brutal. I think this is as aggressive as you get with laying people off. What, to your point though, you could argue that, a lot of the engineers was fluff, and that like Instagram was built with 4 people, right? Like there were 4 founders of it, and they built the entire Instagram app that scaled to millions and millions of people, and then inevitably billions. But they didn't need like a ton of engineering talent. And frankly, a lot of the scaling aspect challenges have been accomplished. I did see AI people eliminated. Also, this was people who were focused on making their algorithms more transparent and fair. I don't even know what that means.
Sounds almost like 1984 doublespeak. But yeah, I mean, you said like one of them you scrolled over was like they fired like 80 or 100 people from PR. Like, do they really need 80 or 100 people at PR on Twitter? I mean, like some of the cuts will probably make sense. Also, I think potentially what they're looking at is they're cutting 50% of people, and then they'll go higher. They'll go on the market, right? With all of these other layoffs happening and stuff like that. And maybe, cut 50%, hire back 10%, but get like, really high quality.
I mean, there's also going to be a lot of people picking up these Twitter employees.
For sure.
Here's a funny one. Twitter employee running Twitter blue, no longer at Twitter. I don't know why I'm laughing at. I mean, this is fucked up to like to the employees. I didn't mean that you're laughing. I feel like guilty about laughing partially, but it's also just absolutely shocking. I also think like a team that would be rooting for this sort of thing, and then we can wrap up, would be the media. Traditional media would say, thank God they didn't figure it out.
Yeah.
Essentially. Like that said, Google News is an aggregator and they have a small team. So
and I definitely feel for anyone that gets like let go, but also I probably feel worse for like, probably like someone that's making 50K a year and has like 4 kids, right? I probably feel worse for them to lose their job, you know what I mean, than like someone that's making 400K a year and like has $1 million in stock options that's like vested, you know what I mean? Like in terms of like the levels of feeling bad, like, the guy that, or the gal that was, the sole supporter of their family and just got laid off in the mortgage industry, right? And like they're in the mortgage industry, like they're not going to get another job in the industry. Like that person I feel really bad for. Like, someone that is an engineer, and engineers are very high demand these days, I obviously still feel bad for them, but I think a lot of those people will probably be able to bounce off their feet.
You'd hope so. Let's see. Okay, this person is just saying, look at women being fired. Yes, women will be fired. That's what happens when you cut off 50% of it. Well, we ended on a really uplifting story there. One of death and destruction, people getting slaughtered brutally from their employment. And,
we bought some Twilio.
I bought some Twilio stock. I did not mint my Ute. I'm still on the fence about like doing it soon, but if only 700, 800, whatever the number is, have minted, it doesn't even seem like it's worth doing at this point in time right now. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. We'll wait and see. It's hilarious because literally everybody like knows the playbook at this point in time. And we've seen it play out over and over again. We saw it happen with mutant serums. We saw it happen now with Renga. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. But I hope you all have a phenomenal weekend.
Great weekend.
Shout out to the Twitter employees. Our thoughts and prayers with you. And yeah, have a great one. Remember, lick the like, smash the subscribe. I can't even remember these things anymore. And shout out to our sponsor, So Rare. Head over to the.com/SoRare and get involved in that fantasy sports action. Like, what are you doing? Don't miss out on that. Like, Kix, have you signed up yet, by the way? Because you should probably do that.
Yeah, I love sports. I'm going to get on there. Give me your affiliate code.
It's the nifty.com/SoRare. That's how you get there. So just head on over there and let us check it out. Let us know who you get on your team, and maybe you guys end up outperforming us. I actually haven't been. The problem is that I haven't been shifting my players, so like I don't know what the implications are of that. We got to research that more. And actually, Pio and myself were discussing actually using the product and having a little bit of a friendly competition. And maybe bringing some of the audience alongside us with that. So sign up, the nifty.com/SoRare. Let us know who you ended up getting on your team, and enjoy your weekend.
Enjoy your weekend. See you on the other side.